You can't cricket someone who's not even talking to you.
He should just cricket you every time you're talking. Are we gonna have some stupid KO announcement? That was funny too.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Big Pick 4 Divisional Playoff Week, the show where the football, NFL handicapping experts, Big Danny D and Big Brian B, give you the best 4 picks for the divisional playoff games, to include the Big Danny D guarantee and Big Brian B guarantee. As always, we will open with a statement from Big B.
Another stupid announcement.
My saying for this week is me and Dan we talked about it at the office. We realized that my brother is probably gonna gloat like an idiot about how he was right last week with the Ravens. So we're gonna give him. We thought about it next year for all our viewers for next year. We're going to give our brother Scott, or my brother Scott.
He's not my brother.
The producer, Scott O'Haron, we're gonna give him 1 veto during the regular season and 1 veto during the next postseason. Not this postseason. So Scott will have the ability to...
I told you! That's right. I told you, baby. I told you that the Indy Colts don't walk into Baltimore and pull off a playoff game with a rookie quarterback and
do you like that idea, Scott?
A seasoned veteran quarterback playing for the Ravens.
Is that
especially in the year that Art dies?
All right. We heard you, but are you okay with? Is that a good idea, Scott? You get 1 veto. You all right with that? It's got to be the same pick though. You're just flipping it. You're not doing a completely new pick.
Yeah, and they actually. Someone had some bootleg audio from the Ravens locker room after the game.
That's a team, gentlemen. And either we heal now as a team, or we will die.
How long?
Yeah, I don't know if you saw that went viral on the internet.
You were right. Can we move on, Scott? You were right. Can we
you win, Uncle.
Yeah, we say Uncle.
Yeah,
Can we move on now?
We couldn't do diddly poo op.
No, what was that? Was that the?
We couldn't do diddly poo offensively. We couldn't make a first down. We couldn't run the ball. We didn't try to run the ball. We couldn't complete a pass.
Diddly poo. I love that.
He was not a good coach. I think he was 0-3 in the playoffs.
He lost to the Eagles in '91, I think. Remember that?
Yeah,
game?
that's right. The Saints. Yeah, the first time Buddy Ryan won a playoff game, and only time he won a playoff game.
But if I was a coach, I'd be trying to go for those type of press conferences where you can get quotes that you can have on future Coors Light commercials, right?
And future Big Pick 4 shows.
That's right. More importantly, Pick 4.
So, ladies and gentlemen, let's have this playoff week's Vaggie of the Week, Big Dan.
All right. After much discussion, our Vaggie of the Week is Joe Webb for being an asshole. That was one of the most ridiculous and worst performances I've ever seen at any level of football anywhere. That was terrible. What the hell was that?
He just ran.
Come on. Oh, no. I got to run now. I don't know what to do. I'm surprised he didn't throw the ball on the ground and run away. Like a scared little girl that he is. That was horrible. And it wasn't some garbage time touchdown where the Packers defender decided to get a root canal. It was just like, what are you doing?
It was 3 and out almost every drive.
And all I know is, who's the third quarterback on that team? Couldn't they have started him instead? Could he have done any worse than Joe Webb? I mean, shit, they could have gotten Brian out of retirement here.
And I don't know if you were going to mention, but he cost us winning.
Yeah, he cost us our pick last week of Minnesota.
Because Ponder would have easily covered the 9.5.
Yeah, it was terrible. Oh, my God. Leslie Frazier is also
Ponder had been playing well.
Actually, I'm sorry. The Vikings management is actually an honorary badge of the week for even having this dude on the team. That was awful.
You know, they had the conspiracy theory there, one of which was that the Packers threw the last game of the season because they wanted the Vikings, the division rival, out of the playoffs, which would make sense. But I have a true theory, which basically is that the Vikings were on the take with Vegas. You know, how do you drop your starting quarterback right before the game?
And they showed him throwing before the game.
They had to have had action all over that.
Did you see
that line?
Did you see the pre-game footage? You see him out there throwing the ball around like he was doing the Viagra commercial.
I didn't see that.
He was throwing the ball around. And they're like, oh, no, you know
what?
what?
Like the Jay Cutler thing where he was on the exercise bike type thing?
No, Jay Cutler was just there picking his nose on the sideline. This is different. He was actually on the field throwing.
And they couldn't start him?
And they said, forget it. So maybe they were on the take.
Yeah, they could. That is.
I think they were on the take. That's what I think.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, if
you need to start an investigation to what happened.
Say it ain't so, Joe.
I'm Joe Webb. I'm a complete moron, but I beat the Eagles 2 years ago.
What I couldn't believe is that the line after the announcement only moved a point. It went from a +9.5 to a +10.5, and I was looking at that line going, what the hell?
They made the announcement like an hour before the game.
Yeah, because they worked out
right.
before the game, and I guess he just couldn't go. He's so much of a pussy himself. So
I heard him cut into commercial, and they said, and Webb is your quarterback for the Vikings. I said, what? What are we talking about?
Yeah,
here?
right.
Yeah, it killed us. I knew. Listen, I didn't even have any interest in the game. As soon as that happened, I knew they were going to lose. I knew the Packers were going to kill us.
Yeah, I agree. I knew that was.
They were, and the other thing too is there were times they put 9 guys in the box to stop Adrian Peterson.
Yeah,
Peterson's
of course.
Good. I know he's good, but he's not that good.
But he's not. But
if he had a quarterback, he would.
Joe Webb is that bad.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that was ugly. That was terrible. What a dickhead.
But you know, for a situation where he literally had everything to win and nothing to lose, you'd think he would have completed a couple passes.
Yeah, he didn't know what to do. He looked like a deer in the headlights.
Yeah, he like literally. I told this to Dan. He looked to his main. He looked to the main guy. In every play, there's always 3 targets. You got your primary target and your backup target.
He was like.
He looked to his main target, and then he would look to run. He didn't even survey the field. He looked one way,
like this.
and then he would put his head down.
Yeah,
he had
like
no
this,
clue what he was doing.
And then he would put the ball and start
running.
running.
He had no fucking clue what he was doing. You could tell.
What a jackass.
I saw a lot of this from the Minnesota receivers. A lot of with the hand up, like, hey.
Yeah.
Hey,
we're over here. Remember me? I have an 81 on my shirt.
I have a purple jersey.
Yeah. What a clown. That was terrible.
We're not making excuses. We're just saying.
I'm just saying that was bad.
I think we would have won if.
I'm not saying. I don't think Minnesota would have won anyway. But that was
just a terrible performance. If Ponder was quarterback, I think they would have covered.
I mean that was ridiculous. You just can't have that.
Well, they had that exciting first drive, where they put 3 points on the board, and you're like, well, okay.
And they had like 3 straight 3-and-outs, I think. After that, they had like 3 straight 3-and-outs.
Yeah, because Joe Webb couldn't complete a pass.
He couldn't do anything.
He couldn't even throw the ball. The ball never left his hand.
But there was some good analysis by the commentators where they said that the week prior, Minnesota was basically going with a 2-level defense where, and Adrian Peterson was finding hole. It was like Swiss cheese to him. So they went with the 1-level defense, and they like you said, they boxed him in.
Boxed him in.
Yeah.
He couldn't do anything. He couldn't run through him like Swiss cheese.
Yeah.
He only had 50 yards, I think.
They had 99 yards.
Oh, he had 99.
Yeah, but it didn't matter. They were just garbage
yeah.
yards. Yeah, it didn't matter.
So there you have the Badgie of the Week.
Yeah,
As always, ladies and gentlemen.
Say something about Brett Musburger.
Let's review last week's picks and see how we did. Ho! Big pick, 2 out of 4.
Yeah, that's the asterisk right there. The Joe Webb game.
Yeah, right.
That's
damn Joe Webb.
The big pick 4, the Joe Webb game.
Hey, the Big O got his.
Yeah.
Oh, I knew that game was
and the
coming
Big
through.
B came through.
That's right.
No doubt. That game was a repeat of a prior playoff too.
Yeah.
Right? The Texans beating the Bengals, right?
Yeah, last year.
So look at that new season, Dan.
Look at that, Big B.
New season.
Big B 1-0. That's right. The redemption, we call this.
That's right, redemption, baby. It's a new
That's
season.
right.
It's a brand new season.
Yeah.
Yeah, the O'Haran brothers picked the 2 wins,
Yeah.
and Dan is on the outside looking in.
Yep. I'm the loser this week.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's have the first combined pick for divisional playoffs. Big Danny.
All right, our first combined pick is Seattle at Atlanta. Atlanta is favored by 1 point, which is kind of surprising, but I guess Seattle is sort of the darling of the league right now after their performance against the Redskins. Seattle's played really well, but I think their record's a little bit of a mirage just because they play so well at home. Not that I think Atlanta's the greatest team in the world, but Atlanta should be able to cover a 1-point spread at home. I mean, come on. This is the biggest playoff game they've had in years. They got crushed the last time they had a home playoff game by the Packers. So they have a lot, Matt Ryan has a lot on the line here. Tony Gonzalez.
Was Vic the quarterback the last time they were in the playoffs?
Yeah, last 3 years I think they made it. They got their ass kicked the last 2 times. Once at home and then once on the road. They lost 41-2, I think, against the Giants. But this is going to make or break Matt Ryan's career. I mean, he has to win this game. Same with Mike Smith, the coach. These guys could be in trouble if they don't do that. It's enough already. I mean, this is the second time in 3 years they've had home field advantage at the playoffs. If they can't take advantage of it, then they have a big problem in Atlanta. Seattle's coming all the way across the country again. They lost their best pass rusher, Chris Clemens, and this is a 1 o'clock game on Sunday compared to a 4:30 game as the last one was last Sunday. And
Dan likes this
and
stat.
road and West Coast teams that come and play on the road at 1 o'clock on Sunday tend not to be very successful. And as I said, it's a 1-point spread. Atlanta has to be able to cover the spread. I mean, that's just ridiculous if they don't.
I believe that was one of the first. When I first brought Dan onto the show, I think that was one of the first stats you threw at me was that West Coast travel 1 o'clock game.
See, at least last week it didn't count as much because they're playing at 4:30, so it's like playing at 1:30 at home. So you're more of your normal
like a
schedule.
10 o'clock game.
Now it's like an 11 o'clock game, 10 o'clock game. It's not
Affects
good.
Your body chemistry.
Yeah, your body's not with it. I mean, I know it's a playoff game, and you get adrenaline, but it's going to be loud. It's inside.
And they've been on a late season slide just like the Texans, right?
Who?
Yeah, they were
Atlanta.
Who has?
Atlanta.
They lost to Buccaneers, but
I know. I mean, they lost a couple questionable games at the end of the season.
No,
but
the Texans were on a serious slide because they lost 3 out of 4.
But the thing is, this is what they were waiting for. They knew since maybe 2/3 of the way through the season that this was going to happen. That they were going to have home field, that they were going to be able to play this game. This is what they're leading up to, and they have to win this game.
Another difference, too, with Atlanta, difference from the last couple of years, Mike Nolan's defensive coordinator. He's a good defensive coordinator.
Yeah, even though they lost John Abraham.
They're very creative on defense with Mike Nolan.
And if you can't forget special teams coach Keith Armstrong.
Who, by the way, this is a threat. This is a threat to Jeffrey Lurie. Jeffrey Lurie, if you hire Keith Armstrong as the next head coach of the Eagles, I will be officially holding a press conference to announce my allegiance to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, I'm sure they're waiting for it. But anyway, Atlanta should cover 1 at home. So everyone bet on Atlanta.
I think the Eagles should bring back Bobby Ross.
No, I think they should bring in Brett Musburger as the coach. He has an eye for talent.
Hey, who's the guy who got fired because he lied on his resume?
George O'Leary.
Yeah, we should bring him in.
Yeah, another Irishman. And by the way, Brian wants a big coach.
No, I didn't say that. Dan made that up.
He has to be big.
I said not skinny, and Dan turned that into fat. I just said I don't want a skinny twerp who's going to stand in front of a locker room and try to scare players.
And then Brian said out loud that I put fat in his mouth.
Why wouldn't they bring in Gruden? I mean, he was talking with the Redskins before they hired Shanahan.
He said he didn't want to. I think he likes his gig.
I don't know. I think they want to try to be smarter than everybody else and bring in some guy that no one expects that they think could be like the next great innovator.
I didn't like it when they quarterbacks coach Andy Reid. I still thought it was a stupid move.
It worked, but
he lucked out. Andy
risky.
Reid lucked because he knew all those other coaches that he brought along with him.
So we have to see. We'll see what happens.
Well, folks, you heard it here first. John Madden will be the next coach of the Eagles.
Hey, I would go for it. You can bring his turducken with him.
All right, so let's have our second combined pick. Big B.
Second combined pick is Green Bay is now plus 2.5 at San Francisco. We're going to take Green Bay. One of the things that me and Dan were earlier in the morning when we were going over the picks, Green Bay was +3. Now it's +2.5, which means a lot of other people in the last 6-7 hours have been voting for Green Bay. So Vegas had to shift the line, which is good for us. That means a lot of people agree with us that Green Bay is going to cover. I think that's a good thing. My other reasoning basically is for the first time since I think they said week 3 that all the receivers on Green Bay are healthy. So they have a healthy team.
And Woodson.
And Charles Woodson on defense. So they have a healthy team. Me and Dan talked about this too. Colin Kaepernick's a rookie quarterback. I mean, he's good, but it's different in the playoffs. He's the type of guy who might take a chance, which costs him a turnover. For all those reasons, we really do feel strongly. And I'm going to make a bold prediction. Dan's usually Mr. Bold.
Here we go. Blow of the week.
No, this isn't bold. No. Dan's usually Mr. Bold because he picks -10 spreads. My bold prediction is that Green Bay is going to win the Super Bowl. Right now, that's my bold prediction. That's BKO's bold prediction.
So all you Green Bay fans out there, I'm sorry.
Fuck you.
And the other thing we looked at it too was, who do you trust at the end of a game, in a close game, Rodgers or Kaepernick? Rodgers has been there before, and he's won MVPs. Kaepernick hasn't made that tough throw at the end of a playoff game. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
So there you have it. Your first 2 combined picks are in the book. Brian has added another segment to the show, which was not clear with the producer. Impromptu bowl picks. I'm expecting the Twitter feed to blow up. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, he was like 5-10 for his guarantee, so...
6-11.
Why are you attacking your own guy on your show, you idiot?
6-11-1.
You're the producer. You're supposed to sell me. You're supposed to sell me, you idiot.
So what was the are any of your original preseason Super Bowl picks still in it?
Yeah,
I think so. I think I said San Francisco. San Francisco and Cincinnati, I think I said. So Cincinnati's obviously out, but I think San Francisco's still, they're still there.
Yeah, I think I'm good. I think I had Green Bay
and New England.
In New England, yeah.
So you're still alive.
Oh, he's still alive.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. As always, a word from this week's Big Pick 4 sponsor.
Exciting and new. Come aboard. We're expecting you. Soon we'll be making another run. The Love Boat promises.
Win een reis naar Miami met 4 vrienden. Ga naar facebook.com/centraalbeheer.
And we're back for the second half of the Big Pick 4 show. Moving on to the divisional playoff guarantee, Big Danny D.
All right, well, trying to recover from last week's debacle. Hopefully Joe Webb doesn't start for either team I'm picking.
He's going to show up and play for New England.
Yeah, right. Oh, I'm here to save the day. Yeah, anyway, Houston is at New England. New England is favored by 9.5. This is a 4:30 game on Sunday. New England doesn't lose playoff games at home, especially a team like this. They annihilated the Texans last time they played them. The Texans haven't changed that much, really. None of their better defensive players have gotten healthier. New England's had a chance to get healthier. They have Gronkowski back now. He's healthy and ready to go. Hernandez, another week off. He's healthy and ready to go. I think they got one of their offensive linemen back. It could be a pretty scary afternoon for Houston. I expect another debacle like last time.
And also, we were saying we don't trust Matt Schaub.
Yeah, I don't trust Matt Schaub to make the critical throws either.
He's too conservative.
He's
You
just,
got to take a
he's-
chance.
Yeah, I
once in a
mean,
while.
I understand that's the way their team is structured, but he's just not
Against
that
a good
great.
team, once in a while, you have to
And
win. You have to take a chance.
if they get behind, they're in big trouble. You know,
because they're play action running.
yeah,
game.
New England, it doesn't matter. They can get behind, they get ahead. They know what to do. And I trust Tom Brady over Matt Schaub any day of the week. And you give Bill Belichick an extra week to get ready for his opponent he's already faced. I mean, that's really scary.
Yeah, we were talking
So,
about Belichick's type of guy who
I believe that New England will cover the spread fairly easily.
Yeah.
You know, they should win by 14, 20, something like that.
Yeah, when we were talking about when Dan was saying when he has an extra week to prepare, Belichick's the type of guy that could have like a fake punt or something or some
Whatever,
kind
not
of
even
trick,
that.
yeah.
It's just the scheme of the offense. He's able to analyze the weaknesses in the other team's offense and defense and exploit it to the best that he can. Him and Tom Brady are so smart. I remember there was a game against the Jets. It was such a simple thing, but it made so much sense. When they were in their base defense with the 4 linebackers, they would throw the ball deep down the field, down the middle, because they knew that Bart Scott, the linebacker, couldn't cover the slot receiver. When the Jets went to a nickel defense, that's when the Patriots would run the ball because they knew there was one smaller guy in the box than there was before. And it worked like a charm. They scored like 45 points in that game.
Was that a playoff game or
No, it was a regular season game, but it's something just simple things like that aren't necessarily game-changing innovations and all this other nonsense like other idiot coaches used to try to do. It's something basic and simple, but it can make all the difference in the world. And I trust them over Gary Kubiak and the rest of this band of merry men, Wade Phillips and the rest of them. So take New England.
Everyone is who has a brain is picking the Patriots to win.
Well said.
The question is the 9.5 cover. I mean,
can do
that's
it.
a huge cover. What about the weather? The weather could affect that cover.
The weather should be fine on Sunday.
And it's not 16 and a half.
It's going to be like 50 degrees up there, and I think it could be just cloudy. I think the weather should be fine. Even though the Patriots don't care. Tom Brady can win in the snow. He doesn't care.
Yeah, he put up 50.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. I agree he can win, but that's a
I think they
It's
can
a
win
big
by
cover.
10. I mean, honestly, Houston didn't play that great against Cincinnati. Cincinnati had any type of offense, they should have won that game. So I think the Patriots have a real chance to annihilate that team.
And Dan's point shouldn't be undervalued here. Houston is not a team that can play from behind. So all New England basically, if they get 2 scores fast, Houston's screwed because they don't know how to play from behind. They are a running team. They're a running team. They have a play action. Their whole passing game is designed off play action.
Yeah.
They're not designed to come back.
No. And their defense isn't great. I mean, they didn't, Andy Dalton, if he's a better quarterback, they could probably put up 28 points last
4 or
week.
5 games, their defense has not played
They've
great.
been awful.
They
were
lost. They gave
1-3.
up like 30 to the Packers.
And their last 4
40
games,
to the
in their
Patriots.
last 4 games, they were 1-3, and their defense was the main culprit. They gave
They
up a
gave
ton
like
of
30 points a game.
I think New England's really going to kill them. They can't change all the personnel in 3 weeks. It doesn't work that way.
well, and they're playing at what is it, Foxborough?
Yeah.
So they can't. So old man Campbell can't come out at halftime. To rally the fans like he did last week.
What?
Who's that?
Who the hell?
You didn't see Earl Campbell come out at halftime and rally the fans, man. Come on.
He's only like 50 at the most.
Yeah, but you know what the NFL does to you
Yeah.
when you're a fullback, right?
Yeah, he was a running back. He was a good player.
So.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he came out on his cane. No, I think he came out on the golf
Why are you making
cart.
fun of the old guy? Leave him alone, Scott. Well, you going to break out the Jerry Sandusky jokes now, Scott?
He had a
No, I love Earl Campbell. I think he's a hero, but I think that now you're going into Foxborough. It's a different story.
totally different animal.
We can't be talking about Bum Phillips and Earl Campbell and the great, Oilers back in the day, White Shoes Johnson. It's going to be a different
Warren
story.
Moon, Webster Slaughter.
House of Pain.
Oh, yeah, the House of Pain game where the Eagles beat up half their team.
So there you have your first guarantee, trying to come back from the 0-1. Now let's have this week's guarantee king coming off a 1-0, Big B.
1-0 is 1,000%, by the way.
Yeah,
1,000%.
unlike 6-11-1, 5-11-1.
my big B for this week, divisional playoff round, is going to be Baltimore. Take Baltimore plus 9.5 at Denver. Dan doesn't like this pick, but I don't really care. I think I'm going to call it the Ray factor, the Ray Lewis factor.
Cue
This
the
is his
crickets.
This is his last playoff. They're going to play inspired. I think
No, because I said that last week, and you two dissed me on the Ray Lewis comeback. Now you're drinking the
No,
Kool-Aid.
I,
he's not.
I
I
disagree.
He
This is
disagrees.
on the road in Denver with Peyton Manning, who's been motivated as hell, playing his first playoff game in 2 or 3 years. What it is.
I just want to say, as a straight up game, I would take Denver, but I don't think Denver's going to cover 9.5. I see them winning by 7. I can see it being 28-21, 30-23. And I think and Joe Flacco played pretty well last week. Their offense looked pretty good. And Ray Lewis, and they're, like I said, their defense played inspired. This is Ray Lewis's last playoff. This is his last season, his last hurrah. I
It'll
think
be
they're
his
gonna play
last
inspired.
game.
But like I said, if it was straight up, I would take Denver. But it's not. It's handicap. I just don't see Denver covering 9.5.
Well, and keep in mind that the Ravens have 2 solid running backs. Ray Rice and number 30,
Pierce.
and Torrey Smith pops out every few weeks, and he didn't have
Bolden played well too.
Yeah.
outstanding deep ball last
Well, he's
week.
gonna
So
go
I think
against-
he's a threat.
He's going to go against Champ Bailey this week.
Well, that will leave Torrey Smith open.
No, I'm saying Torrey Smith is going
Then
against
that'll
Champ
leave
Bailey.
Bolden open.
And you can use anyone to cover Bolden and how
Bolden
slow he
played
is.
150 yards, so you can say whatever you want about him.
Yeah, I know, but he got lucky against a bad defense. He's slow. And I think Denver will take advantage of it. The other problem I think Baltimore's going to have is blocking Von Miller and Elvis Dumerville. They're going to wreak all kinds of havoc against that makeshift
but
offensive line.
okay, my counterpoint to that is the Bengals' defensive line was one of the best defensive linemen putting pass pressure. They had the second most sacks in the NFL, and they still Flacco still had 280 yards.
Where
and
was
had
that?
What?
Where was that?
Where was what?
Where did that take place?
In Baltimore.
Okay, this is on the road. Flacco's completion percentage is about 50% on the road. His QB rating is terrible on the road.
Listen,
the Ravens'
all
record
right.
on the road is terrible.
Your point was to not being able to block those two guys. My point was they were able to block the number 2 team in sacks
At home.
in the NFL.
At home.
All right, we'll see.
home.
We'll see. Hey, listen,
Saying.
we'll see.
They're two different
It's
teams. I'm just
big
saying the
B
Ravens
guarantee.
are two different. And we all know how that went during the regular season. But
And they don't have to win, and they don't have to win.
They
It's a
don't.
big cover. So
they don't.
I
And
don't.
you said before that it's like 80% that the team usually doesn't cover a 9+ point spread.
I don't like 9.5. That's all, folks.
You got to look
Maybe-
at
that's all,
also
folks.
that Denver's been on a run. What, like 9-0
11 in
now?
a row.
How many?
11. They've won 11 straight games, and they've just been crushed.
Okay, so let's take the Vegas odds of an NFL team winning 12 straight, especially with the 12th game being a 9.5 cover. I'm with Brian on that.
Well said.
You know, I mean, that's a huge run in the NFL.
Sure, and it's true. Brian's right. He said that like 80+% of the time the teams don't cover.
Yeah, straight up, I agree. I would take the
I
Broncos.
just don't
but
trust-
I'm taking them at 9.5.
I just don't trust Joe Flacco at all.
I think he looked good last week. I think he played.
I know,
well.
but it's at home. He's a different player at home and on the road. His splits are incredible. I mean, it's like two different players. One at home, he's a Hall of Famer. On the road, he's Coy Detmer. It's amazing. Now maybe he gets his act together. I don't know, but
Yeah, but what you don't realize is that the Baltimore fan base travels really well. And I think that the stadium's going to be at least half full of Ravens fans.
it doesn't matter. They play on the road against Pittsburgh.
He thought I was serious.
Dan, woohoo! Dan was ready to go. Dan's like, what?
That's like, you think you're going to see like a half of a sea of purple at Mile High Stadium? I seriously doubt it.
I'll make a shout out to I forget his name, but the guy used to be Barrel Man before he died.
Good
Barrel
call.
Man in Denver.
Yo, I don't have any beer, but I would raise my glass to the Barrel Man.
Yes.
And I'm going to raise my glass to the Fireman Ed, who quit too.
No, this guy died. He didn't
Yeah,
quit.
well, but he's
Yeah,
quit.
Fireman. Well, he was a badge of the week for quitting.
You made a badge of the
Yeah, that was ridiculous. You can't quit.
I think he
I'm
should be
gonna
your badge
quit
of the
being
year.
a fan.
Yo, I
Blah.
think he should be your badge of the year.
Well,
even
he's
though
a
not playing.
nominee. There's plenty of Jets who are nominees for that
Yes,
one.
there are.
But you can't quit being a fan of your team. Come on. Even though this guy likes quitting being fans of teams. But, You know, I mean, the guy's like a super fan. He's in the Hall of Fame, and yeah, he's throwing away his fireman stuff because they got made fun of. Really? Come on, you're from New York. Everyone makes fun of each other and spits on each other up there.
Yeah, I mean, the Eagles have Birdman. That guy's weird. Eagles pay for his ticket when they travel.
What's his name? Sean Young, that nut.
Yeah, that guy's
He
nutty
dresses
too.
up like a football player.
Well, the Lions have Trumpet Man, so top that.
Yeah, and the Redskins
That's right.
have one of those
yes.
one of those Indians that they has cigars on it, but they call him Mike Shanahan.
Well, and it's never funny for a bunch of fat men to dress up as women and put on pig nostrils. I just never bought into that. Just never bought into that. It's like, I'm a man and I have breasts. Ha ha ha. It's just not funny. Not funny. So there you have your guarantees. And let's have this week's man violation, Big Brian.
I'm going to do my man violation, but I have a little intro for my man violation. When I introduced man violations a couple of years ago to the show, I said that they're observational, that the man violation was based on observations. I'm going to change it up a little bit, slight variation from the earlier definition. I'm going to add to the man violation something that actually is part of Guy code, but someone told me about it today, and I thought it was a good idea to put on the show as a man violation. So my man violation for this week is cock blocking. And I'm sure most American males between the ages of 18 and 40 know what cock blocking is. But for those who don't, it's basically when a buddy has a shot at getting laid and he's been doing well with a chick all night long, and maybe he slips out to the bathroom and you sneak in while he's in the bathroom and you start talking to the same chick and you end up getting laid, and the guy worked his ass off, talked all night to her, things were going well, and you stole the chick from her, and that's cock blocking. So that's my man violation of this week. It's a Guy code thing. You don't do that to a buddy, man. A good friend, you never do that to a buddy. So that is my divisional playoff round man violation.
There you have it. Cock blocking. I'm sure that's in the urban slang.
Yeah, the Urban Dictionary. Yeah.
But apparently you don't know what it is because you're over 40.
Yeah, I did.
No, I saw a good one
I did explain.
where
Yeah. Yeah. Apparently.
no, where there was something.
He probably called it something different back then, though.
There was something where the Urban Dictionary has a word that's PERN, and then obviously someone looking for porn misspells it, and this link pops up, and it's like the Urban Dictionary, and then you click on it. You take the time to click on it, and it says the definition of a person really looking for porn who is now curious as to what pern means. I love it. It's like you took the extra time to go, maybe there is a word pern. Huh?
Oh wow.
The definition of pern, a person who's looking for porn, who wonders what pern means. Oh, man.
That's funny.
So there you have it. The Big Pick 4 divisional show is in the books. We will now recap the divisional picks, being your Packers, Falcons, Pats, Ravens. Big underdog. The guarantees are polar opposites, right? Dan's going with the big favorite. Brian's going with the big underdog. What say you?
They're different matchups. I mean, you can't look at it the same way. I don't know. I don't trust Matt Schaub at all. I don't trust the Texans defense. I trust Brady and Belichick. I believe they'll be able to win by 10 points. Doesn't seem that far-fetched to me.
I mean, the only thing that I would add to what Dan said is I think this is the first time all year or maybe since we started doing the show, that Dan has completely disagreed with me on a pick. But I guess that'll happen when you only have 4 games to pick from.
Yeah.
But
Because usually we would avoid that game.
right, we would avoid that. Yeah. But this is the
but we
only.
can't, so.
But because it's a big B, I don't need his say so. So
That's why we made it the big B, because Brian felt strongly about it,
Yeah.
and I said make it your big B.
So that would be my only commentary, is that me and on that one pick we didn't agree on.
So as always, ladies and gentlemen, go out, find a way to make money, because Big Pick 4 is actually a religion. We promise if you give us, whatever you give us, we will return 10 times what you donate.
Yeah, right.
Whatever you bet, you will win back 10 times what you bet. Much like you see on the televangelist networks. It's the same program. Except you don't give, you just bet, and you receive back 10 times what you're willing to bet. But you have to have faith in the gurus that they're making the correct.
And one thing before we get off here, for the Super Bowl show, which what is it, February 4th?
February 1st is going to be a Super Bowl show.
February 1st, this goes out. If you're listening, we're inviting you to the Super Bowl show, Dawn. If you're listening, you are invited officially to our Super Bowl show. Scott would love to see you.
Delta Dawn, what's that flower you have on? That's right. It's my girl. So as always, go out, place your bets, and
Score with Big Pick 4.
I gotta take a piss. I'll see you.
yes, sir.
I'll see you Friday, right?
All right, fellas, good luck.
All right, see you next Friday.
Cool.